I am so excited. Our next keynote speaker is Wendy Diamond. She's the founder of Women's Entrepreneurship Today. And the amazing Brittany Barreto is going to be introducing her. Brittany has been key. She helped all of our founders finalize their pitches, and she's just been a great friend to Hit Lab. So Brittany, over to you.
Thanks, Susan. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Brittany Barreto, co-founder and executive director of Femtech Focus. You may have seen me blowing up the chat. Definitely check out our podcast. We've interviewed a lot of people that are here today, and it has been awesome. The founders were amazing. And do y'all know what today is? Today is Women's Entrepreneurship Day. And we are so lucky to have Wendy Diamond, the CEO and founder of Women's Entrepreneurship Day organization, here with us to tell us about her story. Women's Entrepreneurship Day organization works globally to empower women and girls to become active participants in the economy by igniting a network of women leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs to initiate startups, drive economic expression, and advance communities around the world. So excited to have you, Wendy.
Wow. I mean, this is such an honor because, like, my God, Columbia University, Hit Lab. I want to just first of all say thank you to Stan, Justin, Susan, you, Brittany, and also a dear friend who is like the greatest network in the world. Is one of the most important things to remember when you're an entrepreneur is your network. Johnson Hoare, who introduced me to this amazing program. It's such an honor. I mean, wow. So I want to say thank you everyone for being here. And I hope that you've all heard of this day and that you've all, understand what this day was founded upon. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. My story is pretty, funny and crazy and it's been an up and down roller coaster ride. You could never imagine. But I'm happy to say, like now in this time, I'm also an investor in health. So I can't wait to see all the finalists and understand. So again, I'm Wendy Diamond. And I'm just beyond thrilled that you're celebrating Women's Entrepreneurship Day today. I mean, woohoo! This is one of the most important days in history because we're celebrating you as entrepreneurs and all the women before us and that we need to celebrate on this important, movement. I want to say that I started this foundation in 2013 when I ended up taking a vacation to Honduras. I didn't realize at the time when I was taking it that it was the murder capital of the world at the time, and it was pretty much what you would imagine. I'm an adventurer, so I was I decided to still go. I ended up volunteering for an organization entitled Adelante, and this organization, they provide microloans to impoverished women to start their own businesses. In this community, women were probably making maybe 50 cents a day, maybe, if even a dollar. They weren't making a dollar, right? And if they even had a job, this is how impoverished this was. And one of the things I've learned in life is to always take time to volunteer because it can change your life. And it did. And this is why we're here today. I will always remember like this one woman in this community when I was volunteering. She was 73 years old and she had three little kids. And I'm like, wow, how did you have these three little kids? And she told me that her daughter passed away and the husband ran off. And she went to Adelante because she didn't know what to do. She had no money and she got $100 microloan. And that $100 microloan enabled her to open up her own little small business by opening the one window in her one room hut with the dirt floor, right? And she lived there with these grandchildren. And she was able to earn enough money with those Cokes and toothpaste and selling it to literally educate her children for them to attend school. She had to pay $1 a month for those kids to go to school. To be educated, one of the greatest gifts and a human right that everyone should have, right? Because we wouldn't all be here today with all you amazing, smart people, right? If you weren't educated. And this is one of the most important things that we have to understand, as people, that we're not all so lucky, right? But the greatest gift we can do is make a difference in the world. And so what I learned in doing the research is I found that literally women around the world who are receiving these microloans are receiving they're paying them back at a 98% rate around the world. And 90% of the money they earn goes back to educating their children and providing for their families. These are real statistics, literally. And there's millions and millions of loans going towards women. And we won't even go into the statistics of men. Just kidding. But this is like what our movement and what I feel is like the most important thing. Because when I came back in 2013 from that trip in Honduras, this is the reason I created Women's Entrepreneurship Day. Because at the time, nobody was talking about women entrepreneurs or women in business in the media at all, right? And it was weird. So I said, let me create a day in the world, because if we create a day, we're going to talk, we're going to create the conversation, right? Because in history, women worldwide have been underpaid, undervalued, underrepresented, underfunded, and most, which drives me crazy, underestimated. Thank you, Kamala, for doing it. Woohoo! And today they still are. But I knew if we created a simplified movement, I knew that we could change the world. I knew that if we could uplift the 4 billion women on the planet to create better futures for themselves, we could literally uplift communities and we could change the world. And that's what Women's Entrepreneurship Day is all about. So I knew when I came, back from that trip in Honduras, that if I went to, all the world leaders like Governor Cuomo, Mayor de Blasio, and US Congress and all over the world, and I went across the world to all the people I knew, and I asked them to support this movement. And that's how we're celebrated. And so 7 years later of founding Women's Entrepreneurship Day, I am really proud to say our movement is stronger than ever. We have an army, literally, and I call them an army because we're all volunteers, and of 300 women around the world, in Uganda, in Zimbabwe, in Mongolia, who today are celebrating this movement by bringing governments, business leaders, and civil society together to collaborate to find solutions to uplift women in business. And, as I mentioned, it's a proclaimed day. Like, I got Governor Cuomo, I got Mayor Garcetti in Los Angeles, and everyone to proclaim this day to celebrate women. Because when we empower women and girls, we can activate, they're going to become active participants in the economy by igniting a network of women like you and the great men that are here today, to be women leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs, right? And to ignite startups and drive economic expansion and advance communities around the world. When you look at the statistics, women founders only get 2% of the venture funding in the United States. That's crazy, right? As well as if women are in leadership positions in public companies, they're 6% more profitable. So why are we not investing more in women? I'm excited today that NASDAQ, the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation, Google for Startups, MIT Innovation Labs, WeGate, which is sponsored by the European Union. So the European Union is all celebrating today. Girl Scouts, the Romanian National Confederation for Female Entrepreneurship, are all joining us, including you all today, to bring awareness to the importance of empowering women. Because when you think about the world and what's happening right now, minorities and women are the hardest hit with this pandemic, right? When you look at all the statistics, we truly need to empower and bring awareness to the 4 billion women on the planet, because we can be catalysts for change and we can uplift the 250 million girls living in poverty, which is the reason, one of the statistics I learned to create Women's Entrepreneurship Day, which is, why we're here today. Woohoo! And Hitler. And so I would like to say thank you again to everyone who is, part of this whole thing. I'm so excited to see you guys because I really believe in investing in women. All the statistics, prove it, especially, when you think about all the money that's going towards, female founders in the health world. I mean, women are 51% of the population. So when you think about, we really need to figure out ways that we can invest more in the health, because as you see today with the pandemic, we need you all you women to figure this out for us. And luckily right now, one of the vaccines, as we know, is co-founded by a woman. So the more that we can bring awareness and make this dream come true is why we're here today. So Women's Entrepreneurship Day is really important, and it's every day to empower, celebrate, and support women in business. Because if we can do this, we can change the world together. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited for all the finalists coming up. Woohoo! And I would love to pass this on to Susan. And thank you for including me. And I would love to be in touch with everyone if I can help in any way. I'm all about empowering women and connecting women and making this dream come true for all women in the world.
Wendy, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I love your words about creating the movement to have this conversation and your support of women. We really appreciate it. It's a
Thank
huge
you.
honor to have you here. Thank you.